Yes, guys. Yes, people. Welcome back to the channel. No lateness is greatness. No, nothing like that. We straight live, no intro because fuck all of that. There's no point for it after the last couple games. Like it says in the title, honeymoon period is over. Before we get into all of that, I want to say, because I don't know if I'll get a chance to say it, big up to every single one of you. I hope all of you enjoy the New Year's celebrations. I hope all of you can try and detach yourself over the next 24 hours. And let's hope 2025 is better. 2024's had a really nice end and all of that. But yeah, we need to start 2025 in a better light. Shout out to chat, though. Shout out to Guni as well. The link to his Twitter is down in the description below. So everybody head over there and follow him right now. But big up, my guy. How's everything?
Everything right now, bro, is it's just done like a 180, innit? Like over the Christmas period. If we're talking Chelsea, last three games have been nothing but, not good enough. Not good enough. How about that for a title race, people? The ones that were telling us
Yeah.
that, we're in for a title race and some of us are just saying it to not get burnt. Nah, some of us are saying it because we know what title winning squads look like and we know what title winning squads do. And that's not what title winning squads do. It is a fight for top four, people. That's what we are here for. It's a fight for
You
top
know what the
five.
narrative is
Four.
now? The narrative now, we talked ourselves out of a title race. We brought ourselves away from it because we didn't have the mentality to believe. That's what the rivals are doing now.
Yeah, it's always, bruv, it's always something with these people, man. They try to get us with, oh yeah, these guys are in a title race, but they won't admit they're in a title race because they wanted to set us up for the failure to say, oh look, they're already out of the title race and it's only Christmas. We're not falling for that. We are the smarter fan base. We do not bite bait like Arsenal fans do. Yeah, or other fan bases do. We chill, we relax. When we see something and we know that, okay, cool, it looks like a good chance that we're gonna win the title, then you hear us make noise. So wait for us to tell you in the future. We are not the fan base to do that to. Do that to Arsenal, not us.
And it's funny that it's the Arsenal fans that have the same noise because they're the ones that are used to jumping the gun. And they're
Yeah.
surprised to see a team of our stature not doing that. But here we are. In spite of all of that, though, like, was the last time we streamed before the Everton game?
I believe so, yeah.
Oh, fucking hell. So, like, this is a literal 180 since the last time.
Yeah,
Jeez.
yeah.
So,
Completely.
3 games, 3 winnable matches that we didn't win. Obviously, Everton was always going to be a difficult test for us defensively, but Fulham should have handled a lot better. Even if they did do well, did they deserve the victory? We also should have handled it a lot better ourselves.
Yo,
And then
Lewis,
we go,
sorry, but I'm gonna have to move. There's just bare noise up in this section.
aye, no worries, do your thing, man, do your thing. So we've haven't streamed in 3 fucking games, and in that round, we have dropped 8 points. Sensational Christmas period. And like we were saying, the Fulham game, that was one where they did deserve the victory, but we didn't handle ourselves in the right account. This one, the way Ipswich were leading into it, 5 losses in their last 6, not a single home victory in the league. On paper, on form, on everything, we should have been walking in confident and walking out with 3 points. And instead, we just got managed out of the game. Managed out of the game really well. Now, what's your thoughts been on the whole 3 games in a row and also the end of the honeymoon period? Because that's the title I've run with. Honeymoon period over. Because now, like, we just got to get ourselves right back to form and right back to business.
I mean, again, if you look at what I was saying before all of this, all of these last 3 games, I was saying this team is relatively young and relatively inexperienced. And what do we know about those two things? Is that they don't usually have that consistency throughout an entirety of a season to maintain intensity. That is one of the main reasons we still have a lot of players that are growing into their roles. Unfortunately, we've got players that are still, that are relatively new to the club. We've got a manager that's new to the club. I didn't expect all of that, to be honest with you. I did not expect all of that to continue. So it's not surprising, but for me, it's the manner of which we lost and with which we drew these games. And I can't help but look at Maresca. I think Maresca got things terribly wrong in terms of team personnel. I just think he completely shat the bed yesterday, if I'm being completely honest. Like, what are you doing with three right backs on the bench and then you go with the worst player, not only available in that position, but probably the worst player in that entire team in terms of ability? Why he's still at the club, I have no idea. Why he was on beyond 45 minutes, I have no idea. Why I don't understand it. I don't. And that for me is inexcusable. If Maresca is going to succeed at any level, at the top level, he needs to be able to sense when a change needs to be made. There's no proving a point to anybody, because I see people saying, oh, he's just showing the board what he's got available to him, so maybe it's a good thing so they can realize they sold the player. Fuck that. Sorry about my language. But if we are within
Go
touching
for it.
distance of the of top, right? If it, yo, Jose, turn that down, bro. I beg. I'm on the stream, fam. You see, fucking, what was I saying now?
You're talking about showing the board a message that the players that are on the bench aren't good
Some
enough.
people are saying that they're doing that to show a message, fam. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you fuck that. You don't do that. When you're within touching distance of the Premier League title, who the fuck does that, bro? You do your best. You push out your best. It doesn't matter. Players, let them sit there and complain if they're not getting game time. If you're not performing, then you're not playing. It's very simple. Very, very simple. Another one for me, sorry, Lewis, my last point, but another one for me is
Cool.
Christopher Nkunku. Christopher Nkunku. I said it on Javon's video, fam. I told him on the video, I said, this guy does not look bothered at Chelsea Football Club. It looks like mentally he's checked out, bro. I don't want to see him put on a Chelsea shirt again. Because not because he's a shit player, it's because mentally he's not there, bro. Simple. And we saw that yesterday. For me, for me, he wasn't offering anything up front.
He's just a
I'm
ghost.
sitting, me of all people, Lewis. I'm sitting there and in my head, I'm screaming, "Bring on Jackson! Bring on
But
Jackson!
this is the
Fuck you
thing with
doing?"
Nkunku, right? Maresca's come out and said that this guy isn't a 9. So why are we using him as the 9? He's clearly not comfortable for that role. Then what's the point?
No, I know, bro, and but
I
again,
look at it. There was periods in the first half where it's like everybody's just bunched up in the 10 role. You got like Palmer, you've got Nkunku, Felix, all around the center area. There was barely an outlet except Nkunku at times, and when he was there at those times, Felix just weren't passing him the ball. So it's like I come out that game thinking, you know what, in the league, maybe I don't have to see them both play together. If we got to rotate, it's a one or the other thing. I don't need both because
nah,
they just don't seem to work together.
no, exactly. There were several things that were not working in general, bro. I think you see that right side yesterday. It was shocking, absolutely shocking. Even because look, people are, I feel, overemphasizing on the penalty. And you see why I've stayed quiet and I've not said much about the penalty. It's because of the actions before. For me, the lap should have never even been in the box in the first place for Jorgensen to come out and challenge him. Because Disasi and whoever it was on that
Yeah.
right side, I can't remember who it was, but there was two of them that could have intercepted the ball from the Ipswich player before that pass was played. And I don't know what the fuck they did, but they absolutely messed up that play completely, and it led to the goal. Completely led to the goal. So that's why
I'm
I'm not looking at the penalty. I'm looking at our inadequacies. And
It's
if
the
we want
Sassy
to,
and Noni. I'm just
yeah,
looking back
well,
at it now. It's the Sassy and Noni. Both of them.
Chuckle Brothers behavior, bruv. Chuckle Brothers behavior, bro. Like, just ball watching. How are you ball watching there, bro? And then the worst thing about it is you've
Also, I
already
even say
seen.
Caicedo loses the lap as well in that.
Say that again.
I'll say Caicedo loses the lap as well. He could probably cut the passing lane if he's a little
Yeah, you
bit
could do.
quicker.
Yeah, you could do. But honestly, I'm more so looking at them two because either one of them had the
Don't blame me.
opportunity to intercept, and that player should have never made that pass. That's just my opinion. So that's why I'm not really looking at the referee and the penalty too much. I'm looking at our inadequacies. Why am I looking at our inadequacies? Because that's what top class teams do. They take accountability for their mistakes. They don't push on the blame. And if
Facts.
we want to be, competing for titles, right? Like people were saying we are in this, so far in this season, then these are the things that you're gonna have to turn around and say, no, f the penalty. What were these players doing before that action? You got to ask yourself that question sometimes. Same way as I'm looking at Decisive for that hospital pass for the second goal. What are you even doing there? Like,
He's
and
not
if
even
you,
looking, by the way. It's a lazy, weak-footed pass. Like
But
the
but
level of
then Lewis,
stupidity.
let me tell you this though, yeah. As much as me and you both know that Disasi is a bozo and his time over at Chelsea is probably done out, and it always should be. It's not his fault he was on that pitch in that moment.
Yep,
He was exposed to make that bozo decision that we know he's capable of making. Who does that come down to?
the manager. The manager.
Exactly. And then on top of that, let's highlight the worst, the situation to make it 3 times worse. Achampong, Reece James, Gusto. Those 3 reasons make it even more egregious that that decision was even allowed to be made on the pitch.
I completely agree. Like I expected when Achimpong re-signed, right, that there was a better understanding in terms of his pathway into the squad. No one can tell me Disasi is better based on experience. He doesn't offer a single thing in those wide areas that Achimpong can't do better. And if Achimpong can't do that better, why is he here? Why did we re-sign him? Just let him go on a free because he clearly ain't. If you're not better than fucking Disasi at right back who turns like a tractor, what's the point?
Imagine,
Where's
yeah,
the damn
it's
point?
exactly. Imagine being Achimpong and watching this, right? Let's say, okay, cool. Disasi started the game. All right, cool. I'm gonna be on the bench. But then to even watch the first 25, even 35, even the first half, and even just be like, surely the manager's got to make a change at some point. He's got to make a change. Even if it's not me, he's got to make a change because this guy surely cannot stay on the pitch. And then to see him on the pitch, he must be thinking, rah. So is this just a seniority thing at Chelsea Football Club, or do they just not rate me? Did they make me sign the contract so I can have a bit of value if I'm sold on? Because
And
if
then you know
I'm
what the
looking
craziest
and
thing is? Sorry, just to add on to that. Like the right back was our last substitute. And it was an out of form Gusto instead. Not even Achimpong. Like, brother. I don't get. At this point, if I was him, I'd be angry again. I know some people think it's like a common sexual thing, but like you look at the 3 options. One's a Reece James who's literally only just been allowed back into the squad. The second one is an out of form Gusto. Fuck, you're telling me man can't get at least 20, 30 minutes in that sort of game? I've been saying I've seen him play league games before and do well.
bro, if you can't start ahead of these man, especially in the conditions of what you're saying, yeah, which is true, then why are you at Chelsea Football Club? Are you really good enough to be there? Because I can name you. Listen, let's be fair as well. Disasi is not naturally a right back, which makes it even more bizarre. Because he already has mistakes in him when he's a centre back, and that's his natural position. But
Yep.
I don't understand. But I don't think it's only fair to pick on Disasi. Because I
Oh
think
no, no, no! Like and even with the Sassy, we can all agree the bigger problem is the manager for number one selecting him in that role, and number two allowing him to come out for the second half because it wasn't just
yeah,
the goal. There was some shoddy passing from that position. He was getting done in transition so many
every
times. Like
time.
the tackling wasn't good, the positional awareness wasn't good. Every aspect of his game was not showing. You let him go back on and let him
Every,
be
every
targeted.
every time. And the thing is the way he was being beaten, it wasn't even like it was mesmerizing skill to beat the man. It was just like I don't know if you want to call it sheer will to beat him or he was just half-assed. Because some of them things, some of the times the ball went like he was run past. I was thinking, I refuse to believe a man of this stature and this size just allowed this to happen to him. I
He was
refuse to
just
believe.
stiff legs out.
Unbelievable. Tosin yesterday,
Oh,
absolutely tossed around, bro.
he
Dog
was shook
walk.
of the lap. He got body checked like 2 minutes in, and from that point, he didn't want to deal with him. Just
Yeah,
get
he
backing
felt the
off.
temperature. He felt the temperature. He was getting dog walked yesterday. Dog walked yesterday, bro. It was just a horrible day all round. I'll be
Mm-hmm.
honest. It was just a horrible day in the office all round.
Colwell
Both
as well. He
parties.
struggled with the physical battle as well.
Who?
Colwell as well. He's another one. Struggled with the physical battle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
the one thing I noticed from this game, right, and I was saying it yesterday, we fucking miss Wesley Fofana. We miss the aggressiveness. We miss the recovery pace. Now, I know even he hasn't been perfect, but when we saw him get dropped out, I was a little bit concerned. And fair play to Tosin, because against Brentford he had a good game. Against Everton he's had a good game. What I've seen overall, I don't think the consistency's there yet. I ain't got enough consistency to truly believe in him.
The only redeeming factor for Tosin for me is the fact that we got him for free.
Yeah.
If we had actually paid a transfer fee, a substantial transfer fee for this guy, I would be absolutely fuming. But the fact we've got the opportunity to make, I don't know, even a 15, 20 mil, and that's going to be profit, but they have to pull the trigger to do that. And if you're going to pull the trigger to do that, you best make sure whoever's coming in next is ready. I don't care how old you are. I care if you're ready.
I hear it. It's not even an age thing. It's a more experience thing, because, like, I don't think it's been a problem all season, but I look at a game like this, and I think we really missed out on having some leaders in there to try and navigate us through that game.
Lewis, I have to disagree to an extent, because for me, the defensive play, it's all, a lot of it is down to concentration. And that's something that I've mentioned to you several times on your streams. I feel there's a huge lapse in concentration in our defense a lot of the times, which is how we concede a lot of goals. There's either lack of concentration or there's complacency. One of the two. And that needs to be cut out. Yes, I understand that comes with age and maturity. That can come with age and maturity. You can drop those habits, but in the Premier League, as you can see, things can turn around very quickly. Like, it was only last week where if we had won our game, we would have been top of the league. Now we're talking about fighting in fourth position. Can't take them risks.
No, so I hear it. But I feel like, here's my thing, because I actually thought we were in a decent position up until we conceded the second goal. Now, there were still frustrating moments, but you're in a position where you could at least find a way to pull it back in. You could see the confidence just drain from 2-0. Suddenly, it's like everybody's looking to the next man to be the guy to take Chelsea out of this rut that we're in. And then, like, I saw Simon Phillips say something that stood by me a lot. There was more fight off the ball than on it second half. Let's just beefing with Ipswich for what? For what? Like, let's focus on getting back into the game, guys.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm thinking, like, we could have probably done with a bit more leadership in that regard. Now, it's only just for a situation in this game. But that's where I think we kind of missed out, because you look at the leaders, Tosin's just backing off half the time. Disasi is in his own bubble. Enzo, like, I actually thought he was one of our better players, but again, was losing his head in the second half. And to be honest, him and Caicedo in general, they seem so drained. So, like, Caicedo's game was so sloppy yesterday.
Yeah,
shaky passes, left, right, and center, weak tackles.
Yeah, you could see it. I agree with you. I think that just comes down to his legs are heavy, because he's been running around like a maniac for the past few games. You know what I mean? And it's a shame that we don't have, well, at the club right now as we speak, anybody in that mold to fit what he's doing. I mean, we have Andre Santos, who is over there at Strasbourg, but he's at Strasbourg. He's on loan. So that for me is another concern. We cannot afford to run Caicedo down to the ground. And I hope we've learned our lesson. Obviously, different ownership, different hierarchy. But I hope we learned our lesson with N'Golo Kante. Because the way we treated Kante, we treated him like he was a superhero. Yeah, he did superhero things. He's got 3 lungs and all that. But at the end of the day, he's still human. And then what happened towards the end of his stay at Chelsea? Injuries. They licked him down. You can't do the same with Caicedo. That brings me to my next point. We're going to have to, after obviously we address certain key positions in the squad that need to be addressed, we're going to have to start thinking about that midfield area, because we've already got an issue with Romeo Lavia. Caicedo could potentially be run down to the ground. And if those two are not available, we are effed. We are in a bad place with both of them out. One of them out is bad enough. Lavia, for me, out is bad enough, because I do not think we would be 3 games without a win right now if Lavia was in that squad. I honestly don't think so.
No, I agree. I agree. Like we'd at least have some sort of rotation in between that regard because
Yeah,
like
yeah,
like we struggled in transition, and part of it came down to the midfield being easy to get through, and part of
exactly.
that came down to the lack of fitness. It's a shame. Like Lavia, we know his ability, but fucking hell, like that didn't deep how bad the injuries have been this season from his regard. I'm looking at Santos or Ugo Chukwu. Bring one of them back. Bring one of them back.
For me, look, you see, Santos is for me is head and shoulders the standout player that I would like to see come back to Chelsea. But I'm in a catch-22 with him because I rate this guy so highly, right? I think he should finish the season where he is because he's also established himself as a key player in that team. And I think that's only going to be good for him, and it's going to be good for us going forward. And I think it would be a shame to pull the plug on that. So I think he should continue what he's doing over there at Strasbourg, purely from a development perspective.
I
Because
hear it.
yeah, yeah. So as
Like
of
it's
now,
purely a point of selfishness for me because I've said
yeah,
the same thing too. Like we've built up a relationship with Strasbourg. We fuck that over if we take their player of the season just because we need it.
yeah.
But we might need to do it, and if it comes down to it, I'm greedy.
You know, but I hear you because in my heart I'm saying bring him back to the club because he can definitely contribute. But in my head I'm thinking long term it's better for him to stay there and then make sure he's integrated in that squad regardless from next season. That is a non-negotiable. He has to be available in that squad on the bench week in, week out minimum, I think, Santos. But you look at Ugo Chukwu's situation at Southampton, not really been playing many games, hasn't won the manager over for whatever reason. It makes more sense to bring him back from his loan because he's already been integrated into first team football at Chelsea before. He knows what it is to play in the first team. So to have him as a squad option, I don't think would be too much of a bad option. So we should think about bringing him back. He's an option.
Probably
We
could have
could,
more minutes than at Southampton because he's barely been playing.
yeah, exactly. So what's the point? What's the point in keeping him there? It was similar. Remember, Santos was in a similar situation. We loaned him out to Nottingham Forest, and for whatever reason, they just didn't want to play him. They didn't want to
Mm.
play him. We had to recall him, and then we sent him out on a loan again, and now look, it's working out for him. So maybe we got to do the same thing for Ugo.
Yeah, like this is the benefit of also having like the multi-squad model as well, because you have these loans to like Forest and what's the other one, Southampton and all of that. These guys just won't play your players. They'll focus on their own ones. At least in a multi-club model, you have your own like influence on that. They're playing a similar style of play to you. They're playing like with the idea of building your own players up, either whether the club that you're talking about agrees with it or not. So, like, yeah, this is again my problem with Southampton, and like Ugo Chukwu already isn't comfortable in that position anyway. Just bring him back,
I
and let's
say
get
so.
some depth back into the squad because Maresca don't trust Dewsbury Hall. He
Yeah,
don't trust Cassidy. Now,
yeah.
whether he should or shouldn't, that ain't my thing. Like, I understand if you don't really have a lot of faith in them, but we can't be running these players into the ground. Otherwise, we're just going to be in a position where, fuck, we could be talking about an injury to a Caicedo or Enzo soon. And that is a really, really fucked scenario for us. Not here
That's
for that.
not. Yeah, that's not what we want because we actually lack quality and depth in that midfield, big time, big time. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens in, because I don't really expect us to be doing big business in Japan. I don't really expect it because to be
I've
fair,
just
when
seen
you
this from Pies' burner, just as you've said that. Let me get rid of the dog. Maresca internally wants a striker and midfield cover in January. And Nkunku has backers internally, however, and some don't want to get rid of him. Also up to the player's desire. Some see value in a loan approach for Evan Ferguson, but priority will be outgoings. So it sounds like he's hinting that Maresca would be fine with letting go of Nkunku, but Nkunku's got more backers internally keeping him here.
but Nkunku, well, I've known for a while Nkunku's finished at Chelsea. This is gonna be his last season, I think.
Yeah, I agree too. It's
Maybe
just about
there's
whether he's gone in January or the summer.
but this is exactly. But this their prerogative might be, we're trying to protect the player, or we want to be more respectful to the player, whatever it is. But I know, you know, and I think the majority of fans can feel that Nkunku's time at Chelsea has been very much underwhelming. It's time for him to go. And then you also have to look at it as well from the perspective of he's one of the higher earners, and the hierarchy are not a big fan of that. They've been trying to get the bigger earners off the club if they're not performing properly to standard. Nkunku's not really been playing to standard, if we're being honest. So I can see him. I can see him going. He's got interest over there in PSG. Um, he's got interest over in Germany as well. So there are suitors that will take him. Apparently, Manchester United will take him. So there are suitors for him. Do you know what I mean? But
Hmm.
my concern is the third paragraph in his tweet. Some see value in a loan approach for Evan Ferguson, but priority would be outgoing. Now, is that a loan until the end of the season and we completely forget about the player? Because I highly doubt that is. Because
Nah, neither do I.
my thing is that although I like the fundamentals of Evan Ferguson, his injury record is horrific. It's terrible. It's no good. I don't rate him higher than other options that are available in the market either. And my other thing is, if the striker is not that much better or not better than Nico Jackson, what are we doing signing him anyway? Because Nico has shown me already this season that, yes, he's improved, but he's still not convinced me that he's the man that we need to be leading us in the future to titles. I still think Gyökeres would do a better job. I still think Duran would do a better job. I still think
Yep.
other players would do
On
a better job.
Rodion.
Yep, exactly. Because they're natural number nines, they're natural strikers, and they've shown that they're clinical. So for this Evan Ferguson signing for me is very, very much underwhelming. But I will do this. I'll do this. If we go for Evan Ferguson, I'm going to shut my mouth because a couple of the signings the board have got right. So I'm going to shut my mouth. I'll just watch what the player does. Hopefully he hits the ground running and we can get a good price for him if that's the case. If not, I hope it's a loan and we forget about it and we don't go back to it because we can't be messing around anymore. We need quality in this squad now.
See, here's my thing. Like with Evan Ferguson, I don't get it as a loan opportunity just because I don't get the immediate impact that I'd expect from him, especially from someone who doesn't seem to have played a lot of Premier League minutes. Like I'm just looking through his minutes this season. I'm seeing the minutes he's played per game. Ipswich 5 minutes, 9 minutes Chelsea, 8 minutes Forest,
We're not
60
a
against
charity, man.
Newcastle, 71 against Leicester. He's had 2 starts this season in the Premier League. I don't get where that's meant to have an immediate impact. And a signing of someone like Evan Ferguson should be more of a long-term one, like not a short-term one. I don't see that being someone who comes in and immediately bags. Now, I'm with you as well.
Neither do
Like,
I.
whoever we sign, I'll back Clearlake because they've cooked with a lot of our signings. But I don't see the value in a loan approach for him. I just don't.
Especially when there's so many other strikers I could name that are available and that don't have injury records, and I think that are better. Listen, we don't even have to talk about Sesko and Gyökeres and the bait ones, bro. Look at Sesko. Sesko is not as injured as what Evan Ferguson is, and I think Sesko is the better striker than what he is. I'd rather go for him. Liam Delap. I'm not even being reactionary from yesterday. I'd prefer to go for him than Evan Ferguson. There's bare options I'd rather go for than Evan Ferguson. To me, it doesn't make sense. But based off what I saw with Duran and Samu, this time I think they've earned the right for me to shut my mouth and to see what happens when Evan comes to the club, if he comes to the club. Just based on that principle is why I'm keeping my mouth shut. Because the last 2 strikers I massively complained and made a noise about, they're absolutely smashing it right now. So let's see.
Yeah, completely agree on that one. And Nkunku, not really surprised about that whole situation. Striker and midfield cover just confirms our thoughts in general about where Maresca's at in both sides because, like we've said, we don't see Cassidy getting a lot of opportunities. We don't see it with Dewsbury Hall. Nkunku isn't the 9, but is being played at the 9 solely because there's not a lot of faith in Mark Hiu. So
Can I just make it very clear because I'm looking in the comments. I brought up Sesko in comparison to Evan Ferguson. Sesko does not enter the conversation for me when it comes to strikers as number one targets that I want. For me, you guys know, it's Gyökeres. That's my number one target. After that, it would be Isak, but Isak's going to cost 150 M's. So I know the quality
Yeah.
that we need. I'm just saying, in comparison to the name Evan Ferguson, there are better options for me who I think Sesko is better than him, and he's more available. I think they're better. He's better. But it doesn't mean that I want to sign him as my first choice. It doesn't mean I want to sign Evan Ferguson. It's the other ones that I'd want to sign. I just had to make that clear.
Yeah, no stress about that. I understand it. Just gonna go through a few of these super chats quickly. Big up to Chelsea FC RK saying manager went back to preseason setup and lost the last three. Shows extreme slow and control tactics does not work until each and every player is at the top level. Now, I don't think it means that it doesn't work. It's just I've noticed we have been a little bit slower in the last couple games. Maybe it's a fitness thing, or maybe it's us like facing low blocks like Everton and Ipswich and kind of struggling in that regard, which people have brought up. That might be a case. I don't think it's been a problem throughout the season, but I think the passing has got a bit slower, and I think it's also impacted our chance creation a little bit as well. And
And you know
that's
what I
something we
think
got to
that's
try and
down
work
to?
out.
Do you know what I think that's also down to? Not having Lavia. Not having Lavia to transition that ball fast enough between the midfield and the defence. Because that's what he's great at. And he's also pretty press resistant as well. He's good at finding players that are ahead of him. That's what I like
Yeah, I
about it.
completely agree with that one.
And I feel that partly that's what we're missing as well. And I feel like because the back line has been dishevelled as well, in terms of the Fofana and Colwell partnership, I think that's also been part of it because we're now starting to see the drop off from Wesley Fofana to whoever's the next centre back is big.
And not even just that, to add to it, also the right hand side issues, because now
Oh
that's
yeah,
becoming more of
yeah.
a target. Like, and also you look at games like yesterday, for example, Disasi slow on the ball and also can't really give you any overlapping options. So Noni's also isolated on the right hand side too. And that's not an excuse for Noni. He was trash too, regardless of that. There was moments where he was terrible,
Yeah,
but he also didn't get support at times too. So it goes both ways. I think wherever we've had on the right hand side has been a problem, and that also goes down to Lavia's injury because we could easily have Caicedo inverting from the right hand side and just work from
exactly.
there.
Exactly. That's the importance of Romeo Lavia. If you never saw it before, you're seeing it now. You know.
Hmm.
So that's one of them. And you see with Madueke, why I haven't really got onto him too much on yesterday's game. It's for the reason that you said. Like our wingers play a lot better when they've got somebody that's either overlapping or underlapping them, i.e. the fullback. And this RC just weren't doing that. He just weren't doing that. So Madueke for the majority of the game was isolated against the back five. It was easy for Ipswich to defend against him because Madueke didn't really have any options on the wing. Now,
I'll
granted,
say though, he didn't help himself sometimes. The
he didn't,
touches
he,
in the
he didn't,
first
he
half were
didn't, he didn't,
atrocious.
he didn't. And I find myself saying that so many times about Noni, which is why I don't really rate him as the top level winger that people think he can become. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I just don't see him as that. His touch, his consistency, he's in and out of games way too much. For me, I don't know. Noni for me is squad option. That's a different conversation. But for me to rely on this guy going forward, where I want us to be, I definitely want us to be competing for the title next season. That's what I'd like to see, especially if we get top four this season. Do I
Hmm.
see this guy as somebody who is going to be key to pushing us for a title? No, I don't.
Now,
I
as of
really,
now, the squad role is perfect for him. Like it should be a
yeah.
Neto and Sancho thing. Neto's another one, to be honest, that's been getting a little bit of stick based off the right back and the midfield issue because he's had to come back and provide more support for Gusto. Fulham game, he was basically playing as a wing back. People are talking about how his attacking output wasn't good enough. Man's literally doing all the defensive work and the
And I
attacking
hate
work
that.
on the
I
right
hate
side
that.
himself.
I hate that so much, especially for Pedro Neto of all players. I hate that so much for him because his injury record, it doesn't compute for him to be doing this role on a long-term basis. You cannot allow this guy to be getting back and forward defensive actions, running into the. I'm worried about that injury, bro. So I don't necessarily think that's the best thing that we should be doing. So
Didn't he have like a history of of hamstring issues?
I believe so, but I know
I'm just
if it's
checking.
not hamstring, it's something else that was a recurring injury. But it was something. I don't want to
Yeah, it was
aggravate
2
that again.
hamstring injuries back to back.
I don't want to aggravate that again. However, we do have a long-term solution. We just have to wait till the summer, and that's Esteval. Hopefully, I hope, but again, this is me kind of indirectly being hopeful in the thinking, because I've got to also say Esteval's also got to prove himself. The manager's got to like him. He's got to perform for him to be that option as well. So until we see that, that could potentially be the long-term solution from next season. That's going to take the pressure off Pedro Neto. Because I personally think that if Esteval's going to stay at the club, it would be nonsensical to keep all three of them. Especially, well, and Cole Palmer can play there on the right wing. So that's really 4 options that you've got on the right. It don't make no sense. And the one that's most likely for me to go, is Cole gonna go? Absolutely not. Is Neto gonna
No,
go? We just signed him. Esteval, he's not even got it. It's the one that looks the most dispensable.
Noni.
Unfortunately, it's Noni. Yeah.
Now we've all kind of known this for a while. Ever since Estebal's transfer got confirmed, it's been like, look, eyes are on you. Bringing in Neto and bringing in Sancho has only just added to that, because both of them have come in and they've looked very impressive towards the back end of this season. Whereas Noni started off like a house on fire and just it's kind of faded since then. Been some good performances here and there, but here and there, it's not really been to the same level from what we've seen at the start of the season. So I'm with you. I feel like there's just borrowed time on him. And like, the performances we're seeing, they're not really helping the case. They're not helping the case. But ultimately, I look at the situations with how slow we've been moving. I hear how Lavia could be a big reason as to why everything has suddenly gone a little bit slower from our regard. That, and also the teams that we've been playing, because low blocks, maybe a lack of fitness as well. Maybe like the
Yeah.
results starting to get into the players' heads. Again, I keep going back to us being 2-0 down and the way we managed that game. And the players just looked like they were out of ideas. All of them looked like they were just done. Except Enzo. I'll give Enzo Fernandez, because second half, he made about 2 or 3 great chances on a plate for Jackson. He was
Oh,
offside
Lord.
for one and he fumbled the
Oh,
other.
Lord. And by the way, he's so lucky he was offside for that. So lucky that flag went up. Because if that flag never went up, that would have been unforgivable.
Even then, I'm annoyed with the offsides, because like that's one clear-cut chance offside. Cole Palmer's pass to Felix offside. And it's like, it could be a different fucking game without that.
Felix is another one, and listen, like, he did some good things yesterday, and for me, he wasn't close to being one of the worst players. But this is one of the reasons why I was not a fan of us paying and signing this guy permanently. His decision making in the final third is horrific. And it's baffling because for the IQ of the player before the final third and the ability of the player, for the IQ to just drop once it gets past this imaginary line, it don't make sense to me, bro. Like, for example, Nkunku, I think the once or twice, 2 times I saw him in a good position yesterday, open, goal scoring position.
Yep.
Felix goes for the shot himself, or he makes the wrong pass. Jackson's unmarked, and you've got him on his favoured foot too. No, sorry, Nkunku, and you've got him on his favourite foot, waiting, no pressure. Potentially could have scored, but he don't pick his head
Yep.
up. It's those little nuances about João Felix that frustrate me so much, and they put
It
such a
was that
cap
and the
on
duels
his.
for me as well. Because like
Yeah,
the first 10, 20 minutes, he was getting bitched all over the
he
midfield.
was getting ragdolled. But then Lewis, if we're being completely honest, right? As much as I personally don't accept it, you don't accept it, but João wasn't the only one that was getting bitched about yesterday.
Oh
He
yeah,
had
I'm
a,
just talking about him in isolation. It was like
no,
every
but
time he was on the
but
ball.
I hear what you're saying. But for me, I saw man getting moved to that should have never been muscled yesterday. How are you toasting? How are you 6 foot what? Like, are you 6'5", 6'4", or something like that? And you're getting moved to by this guy Delap. Now I'm not saying Delap's a pussy because he's a bit of a unit, But come on, bruv.
But what it is that tossing just looked like he didn't want it. That was it. He got bodied in the
looked
first 2
shook
minutes. He looked like he was shook.
after Delap moved to him and put him on the floor. I think he was shook. I think he knew this guy here is going to be a bit of a nightmare. He's a bastard to deal with.
Yep. Yeah, totally agree. And like, he didn't seem up for the game after that point. Kept backing off. And he's meant to be the leader in the group. That's meant to be the big man everyone's turning to in the moment. And he don't want it. So like, I get like there's lots of other players getting bitched out. But for Felix, that was one of the things I was looking at him. It's like, look, the retention of the ball wasn't good enough in those phases. There was better phases too. Like, the one thing I like about Felix is that he does try to do something and do something quickly when he's on the ball. It's just the effectiveness of it and the decision making.
And sometimes the execution, it just don't make sense.
Yeah.
Like for example, you see that volley that Cucurella hit that just went completely off.
Mm-hmm.
That's something I'd expect João Felix to do. And João Felix is the attacker in this dynamic. You've got an opportunity to place the ball in one of them corners, you're just going to spank it. I expect him to... It's just little examples like that of decisions in the final third, which is why I'm not completely sold on this guy. I'm not. And this is why I still, to this day, I scream, go and get Musiala, because we still need a number 10. Because Nkunku ain't it, and he's leaving the club. João Felix, for me, I was never convinced by him. And I honestly think another number 10 who can be consistent and has the IQ would help out Cole Palmer massively.
I hear it. Because I think Cole Palmer, like, there was a lot more responsibility on him just based on the way everyone else was moving. And first off, I actually thought he was probably our best player by that point. He was still creating a lot of chances when he was on the ball. Second half, he's another one that fell victim to just falling into a shell after the second goal. And we also put him back on the left-hand side, which well, I've already said my problems. Like, he isn't nearly as comfortable on that left-hand side as he is on the right. Whether it helps the team or not, like, I couldn't really tell, to be honest, just based on how early we conceded the second goal. But it wasn't the same Palmer, which is just my main point with Palmer on the left. Like, where I think he might be getting better and understanding that role a bit more, it's not Palmer on the right-hand side. It's not Palmer in the right pocket. When he's on the left, it doesn't seem as natural with him.
No.
I don't get why we put him back there.
Because Cole's the player. He likes to cut in. He loves to cut in, which is why even when, like, on paper you see him, he's supposed to be starting central, you see him picking up the ball a lot on that right-hand side. Because he understands what his strength is. Cole Palmer cutting in on that left foot is devastating, and we've seen it time and time again. That left foot is deadly, and the best way for the way for him to be most effective for me is being an inverted winger, 100%. I think putting him on the left, you kind of take away from that, and again, it's down to small nuances because of angles and stuff. But I think putting him on the left, you're kind of taking away from that strength. But luckily for him, there's other aspects that make me think he could do all right at left wing, but perhaps not in the same role as what he'd be doing at right wing. So, for example, if Cole Palmer had some goal scorers ahead of him at left wing, I would be looking at him to do a very similar kind of style to what I think Jadon Sancho is, which is a wide playmaker. I look at Jadon Sancho as a wide playmaker, a creator that plays off that left. I think Cole could do that if you was to ask him to play on the left, but he needs some goal scorers in front of him or next to him.
Yeah,
but as of now,
it's not like he can't create chances from there either. We've seen, like, Brentford, for example, he can do that.
Yeah, exactly. But as of now, it's a case of don't fix what ain't broke. And Cole Palmer is, for me, keep him where he is. Don't compromise with this guy's position. Now, people will say, oh, you play him centrally, oh, you play him on the right. I'll tell you this, I'll be the one to tell you. Whether you put him on paper as the centre attacking mid, he's always going to have moments where he's going to drift out on that right. So that is not necessarily a rigid position for Cole Palmer. It's fluid.
Yeah, I hear that. Maybe there was periods where he was just roaming in between, but I think he occupied the left-hand side a lot more on the left, which is just more frustrating for me because Noni was dying out there on the right-hand side. At least I could rely on Palmer over there. Then when
Yeah.
we got Palmer moving on to the left, we're in a position where we're 2-0 down, and Nkunku's being a ghost on the in the middle. And I think Felix was the first substitution made
That
at
made
2-0
no
down.
sense, bro.
No, yeah,
That
it was
made
both Felix
no
and Nkunku.
sense.
Jackson came on the left and no, Jackson came up top, Sancho on the left. That was it.
And it was Disasi that was the last substitution, right? Or one of the last ones.
One
If
of the
not
last ones. So it was Disasi and Noni. They should have been the first subs, in all honesty. It should have been the other way around.
Yeah. And that's the manager. Clearly, for me in that moment, right? Obviously, I don't know Maresca. I don't know what goes through his head, but it smelt to me a bit of contrarianism. I think Maresca knew Disasi is having an absolute shocking stinker in this game. But I think in his head, what the reasoning to keep him on was, if I take him off now while he's performing the way he's performing, it's going to shoot his confidence down even further. Now, this is where I disagree. I don't care. I don't
Facts.
care. Considering what we're fighting for, as a professional football player at a club like Chelsea, you should know that there are no room for any passengers whatsoever, and there's no room for emotion. Sometimes the cutthroat decision needs to be made, regardless of a man's confidence. I'm sorry, and I know it sounds inhumane, but when we're looking at what needs to be done on the pitch, it's got to be done sometimes. You
Bro,
see
it's not
yesterday,
inhumane at all. Like,
yeah,
if you're
but some
shit, get
people
off
see
the
it that way.
pitch. That's
Yeah,
it.
like yesterday, for example, you
Remember
see,
Mourinho used to take man off after 20 minutes and that
yeah,
if you're playing. We've
even
seen it with
yesterday,
Xerxes. Yeah,
yeah,
sorry.
exactly. Xerxes had to come off, and I think Disasi warranted coming off the same time that Xerxes did, way into the first half, and many of you would agree with me. Ruthlessness is what Maresca needs to develop in terms of in-game decisions. Stop thinking about players' feelings all the time and make the ruthless decision. You have targets to hit. You have expectations to hit. You have a fan base that has been patient enough in terms of not winning uh, major trophies, because that's what we're used to. We are a sport fan base, like it or not. That's what you have come into.
Yep. And that's where
Don't
we are.
gamble.
So respect that. Like, here's my thing. Like, if man ain't good enough, that is it. I don't, especially when it's a player that you don't rate like him. Because, like, you clearly don't rate him. Every time you play him at right back. So what are we doing? If he ain't good, so, say that again.
No, go ahead.
No, like, if he ain't a mainstay in the squad or a long-term potential mainstay for us, off you fuck if you're not playing well. It is what it is. If you're unhappy, put in a transfer request.
Exactly.
Don't care.
Exactly. And that's where I stand. Maresca needs to make decisions. He needs to make decisions quicker. It's no good coming out after we lose games or after we draw games that it's down to tactical inadequacy, where you're saying, well, I told you we were never in a title race in the first place. No. If a manager makes the right decision and you still lose the game, cool. We can live with that sometimes. Because sometimes the better team, it's very simple, the better team won. You can get everything right, but the better team does win. But when you are making clear as day ignorant mistakes, or you're being a contrarian to prove a point, or to help boost the man's confidence when now's not the time to do it, that's what's going to get you burnt at the top level. 100%. And especially at a club like Chelsea with our expectations. You can't keep doing that.
Exactly. Like, we've seen that level of ruthlessness before as well. That's been my biggest thing. We've seen the halftime substitution. The thing I'll say as well for Maresca is the substitutions were also a little bit earlier than what we'd expect from him. Like, there was 2 substitutions in the 55th minute. It was just still too late. I won't lie. Like, Disasi should have been off him as soon as we got to halftime. Noni should have been off as soon as we got to halftime. You bring on one of the 3 right backs, one of Neto or Sancho, we should have an infinitely better right-hand side. Suddenly, that second goal doesn't happen. And when we could be having a different game.
Exactly. Because we're still in the game when we're 1-0 down. Because look, let's have it right, bro. We had chances. We hit the post twice, which is unlucky.
The Felix offside goal.
Yeah, but we had chances. But you can see the majority of the issues that we are having in terms of our impotence in attack at times, or our vulnerability to the counter attack, is that right hand side.
And it's like we didn't learn from Newcastle in the cup. when we did like Dewsbury Hall and Disassi right hand side, and we just died. Like we did
That's
it
what
again.
happened. That's what happened. That's what happened. So I don't know, Maresca. Hopefully you've learned your lesson about Disassi and you now understand, especially when you got fit right backs on the bench. Don't ever start him there. Don't do that shit.
But we
Who's
said
our
that
next game?
Newcastle had to be the last game, and here we are. So
Who's
I
our
don't
next
know what
game?
it's gonna take. Palace away Saturday. That's still going to be a difficult one because Enzo and Caicedo are still on their last legs.
That's why I'm shaking my head. That's why I'm shaking my head, bro, because I'm concerned now. Now we're at a point where it's a different test in Maresca's management now. You've had 3 bad results. Do you have the man management to be able to put those results behind you and pick up again and we go again? Do you have the nous to do that? Because I'll tell you something, in the past, with this squad, as a collective, they've let us down before. But there's been times where they've shown us perhaps they can do it. So right now, I think the right leadership, aka management, is key. It's down to Maresca now. Because
Yeah,
I still strongly think,
no.
sorry, Lewis, I still strongly
Go
think
for it.
we could finish second or third. I still strongly believe we can do that. But I'm
I hear
looking at
that.
this manager to make correct decisions now. Now so more than ever. And the recruitment team to do what needs to be done. Now more than ever.
Like this is why I was also saying at the start of the campaign, Maresca is going to get time from me to like get through these sorts of issues because he's not going to be a perfect manager. The brother is still experienced. It's his first season in the Premier League. That's a different level to dealing with Leicester.
Yep.
I accept that there is elements of his game where managerial style where he's stubborn, where like he needs to be a bit quicker with his decision making. There's some baffling lineup choices. This whole Sanchez obsession is driving me nuts. But he will get the opportunities to get past all of that with me because he's clearly not experienced. And he is a manager who, to be honest, is doing very, very well for a manager of his level of experience.
He's exceeding expectation. He's exceeding expectation. And that's the thing. It's nobody expected him to do what he's doing. But the mistakes that he's making are so disappointing because they're so naive. It's like, for example, having, I don't know, a maths genius. You go to him and you say, yo, what's 2 + 2? And he tells you 7. It's like, bro, you got all the difficult things right. But the basic thing, how are you getting it wrong? This is where I'm at with him. This is why I'm extra pissed off. Because it's a mistake somebody of your IQ and intelligence should be seeing off the bat. So it's
that
more
also
so
gives me a bit of long-term optimism too.
You see what? So it's out of respect of his intellect that I have for him, which is why I'm more so pissed off because it's something that's glaring. He should be able to see it.
Yeah, and like because it's something like that, and it's not one of the more complicated things. I still think like, yeah, I can trust you way more, and you've done more than enough first half of the season for it. Just fuck me, man. Just recognize an issue in the team and change it. You have done that so much in the first half of the season. Where has that gone? Where's it gone, man?
That's where I'm at with it. So right now with Maresca, I'm like, bro, come on, man. Like these mistakes that you're making, they're stupid. They're naive mistakes. Stop it now. Stop it now. Stop with the gambling. Stop taking risks, and just do what's necessary because we're in a good position here. The last 2 seasons we finished in diabolical positions. You are in a great position right now. You have the opportunity to get us into Champions League football this season. Nobody's asking you to win the league. No one's asking you to do that. Get top 4, get it comfortably. The league talk will come next season if you do get us top 4. But that's all we're asking of you to do now. You've shown at the beginning of the season that you're capable of producing something with these boys. So now stop fucking around and go and do it. Simple.
Yeah, that's it. I don't mind you explaining like that. We're not in the title race and everything like that. It's just, look, we have a big ass squad. Even with the amount of games that we played this month, like fitness should not have been this much of an issue. I think the Lavia injury also hasn't helped and everything like that. But look, find a way to get us out of this rut because we still have a good run of games coming up. It's Palace, it's Wolves, it's Bournemouth before Manchester City. Bournemouth may be a test, but it should still be a test we're passing. The other two, I demand 6 points.
No, that's it, man. That's it. That's where I'm at. So for now, look, tomorrow's 2025, going into a new year. These last 3 games, I'm just going to put them behind me. And as of now, each game is a cup final. 3 points, 3 points, 3 points. Back to that mentality. 3 points, 3 points, 3 points.
Facts.
I'm not looking to 2 weeks down the line. I'm not looking to where could we possibly be in March. I'm looking at Crystal Palace away this weekend, and I want us to get 3 points. That simple. And the same message will be relayed every week. Whoever our next opponent is, I want 3 points. That's it.
Facts. I'm going to run through these super chats quickly. If you have to shoot off at any point, just say. It's all good.
Yeah, I'm going to have to shoot off in a minute, bro.
No worries. Guni, brother, I hope you have a great New Year's and everything. It's been great to have you on as always. Always appreciate you, brother.
You too,
and we'll
man.
link up soon. Everyone follow him on Twitter. I know you said like you're making a new channel and everything like that. So I've dropped the Twitter instead. Everybody follow him over there.
Yeah, man. And also listen to everybody that's been tuned in as well, to all the people in the chat. Have a good new year, man. Every single one of you. Make sure you stay safe. Don't overdo it with the booze and wake up in the field somewhere. Do you know what I mean? That's very dangerous. Yeah.
I might need that advice.
Yeah, so you guys, happy new year. Great 2025. Us content creators can't do it without you, man. So it's a lot of love, a lot of respect for every single one of you. Yeah. So big up, man. Take care.
Big up, brother. Take care. Happy New Year, my guy. Big up, bro.
You too. Up the Chelsea.
Up the Chelsea. All right, big up to Chelsea FC RK saying Maresca losing the dressing room and fast. Brother, it's not like that. It's not like that. Now there might be some players annoyed with the amount of game time they're having, but he's not losing the dressing room. So, no. But big up to you, my guys, still. Shout out to everybody that super chatted as well. I wanted to just let the conversation keep flowing. And, yeah, we're getting through to it now. So, big up to every single one of you that's been patient. And big up to every single one of you that's been locked in, regardless. Hit the likes. We haven't said that yet. Hit the likes. How many likes are we on? 107. Let's get to 250 before we wrap things up. Big up. And Mo, no one ban RK, man. It's opinions. Leave him. Big up to RK saying players have realized the gaffer is a fraud. They're pulling out wins without any help from the manager and taking all credits. What? What? Nah, you're mocking it, man. You are absolutely mocking it. Sneaky, he has lost to players. I don't know where you're getting pulling out wins without any help from the manager, when the manager has played a big part in us being where we are. But fair enough, mate. The next one is RK again, saying top 4 pipe dream. Players are fed up with the manager. Bro, drop a source. Drop a source that is telling us where the players are fed up of him, because I need to see this. Preseason tactics, slow sideways, backwards, concede. Again, I think the players have been very gassed over the last 3 to 4 games, which is playing a part why we're so slow moving the ball around too. What else? Abs. Big up Abs. Saying big up Lewis from Australia. Fuck. It must be like, what, 3 or 4 a.m. over there? That's crazy. Big up Lewis from Australia. I think Enzo doesn't have the quality in the bench he wants. Our starting 11 looks fatigued. Funniest thing is, right, I've seen from Max's tweet that you're not even that wrong. And like, we've been hinting at that for the last few games. Maresca doesn't seem to have a lot of confidence in his midfield options. And with Lavia being injured, now it's just Caicedo and Enzo or bust. No other differences. So Lavia, we need him back ASAP, or we're going to have to make a decision on one of those loan options, because I love Lavia. He is a sensational football player. He's not fit enough. He's not fit enough right now. So we need to get the adequate depth to try and accommodate for that. Obviously, no one's saying sell the guy. Like, Lavia is a fucking baller. Wait for the guy to like beat his injury problems. But we need to have available options that the manager can trust if he's not there. What's the next one? Big up to RK again, saying only way manager can win with this team is by outscoring. My last message, I have better things to focus on, wasting my energy on a bunch of habitual losers. You talking about the Chelsea squad? I'm talking about the Chelsea. Or is that the manager? I have better things to focus on by wasting my energy on a bunch of habitual losers. I'm very confused at who that's even referenced to. But in terms of the outscoring thing, like we've kind of known the problems we've had defensively. I mean, especially with losing Wesley Fofana as well. So yeah. But big up to you, man. Big up to Jesters, my G. Shout out Jesters saying, sell Nkunku and Noni. Buy Delap. Move Jackson to left wing and Sancho to right wing. Use Jao and Neto for changes up. Big up, bro. Happy New Year. 2025 is the year of retribution. Yeah. Year of retribution for the gargantuan Chelsea. I'm with it. In terms of selling Nkunku, it's going to happen in the summer. I understand it's probably better for him. It's probably better for us. It is what it is. We keep it stepping. We keep it moving. Noni, I kind of think he's on borrowed time anyway with Esteval joining in the summer. Because, like we said earlier with Guni, somebody's got to go. Somebody's got to go. And if I'm looking at our wing options, probably looking at you. Obviously, Mudryk as well, like we already know. Time's ticking with him as well. But that's just made it a lot easier, I guess. You can just use Just Cause and rip the contract up. Go sue the Ukraine FA or something, or whoever's responsible for him taking that nonsense and keep it stepping. But yeah, I'm with buying Delap as well. Moving Jackson to left wing. I wouldn't be against it, but like he's been balling out at striker too. So I think we just have two very good options for that regard. And I think that would also help us up top because, again, we talk about players that Maresca trusts. He clearly don't trust Mark Hugh like that. He's played 23 minutes of Premier League football this season, and that's it. So either you do move Jackson to the left or you have two available strike options that you can trust. Either way, we're fine. We're cooking. And yeah, like Jao on the bench, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. Big up to you. Kolo Muani loan with buy option. Number one, that's not happening. Number two, I'm good. I'm good. Everything I've seen with that guy don't move me. I think he's got a similar profile to Jackson, so don't need that. And like his agent is slutting him out all over England, begging for somebody to take him on. I'm good, you know. I'm not getting involved in no bidding war for Kolo Muani. Fuck that. Fuck that. That is dead. Big up to Lachlan. Why is this idiot here spamming, man? Get the fuck out my chat. Get the fuck out my chat. Shout out Melon as well. Big up my G Melon. Enjoy your New Year's, bro. Hope you're out and hope you're celebrating. Big up to Lachlan saying, love the ruthlessness, but the sassy over Trev. Oh my days. Bro, we know the reasons why that happened, though. Simple. It was just rotation. Not rotation. It was PSR. Like, Cobham and all that. Had to go. Had to go. Unfortunate, but this is the situation that we're in. It's the situation that we're in. And he's going to be the one that's gone in the summer anyway. Shame, but we move. It's a shame, but we move. I keep saying I like Trev as an option. He ain't no hill for me to cry about. And even then, like, we're talking about Disassi because he's playing in the wide areas. We had 3 available options to play in the wide areas, and Maresca chose to play fucking Disassi. That ain't a Trev thing. Trev is just another name on a fucking long-ass list, which is longer than the list of Jericho, of players that can play in the wide areas better than Disassi. So why are we persisting with it? Why? We all know he can't play in that role. We know he turns like a truck. Like, I'll be real, his one-on-one defensive skills, even that surprised me with how bad that was. But we know he can't play there, so why are we doing it? And why did he play 77 minutes there as well? Are we skunked? The fuck are we doing? But yeah, big up Lachlan, my guy. Big up to you, bro. Big up to Ian, who just says Happy New Year, man. Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to everybody that's watching. From the Chelsea fans, to the rival fans, even the Arsenal fans, you know what? Even to you lot, have a happy new year and all that. Actually, no, I say that you lot are playing Brentford tomorrow. Actually, have a terrible new year. I won't even get it twisted. I won't even get it twisted, man. Have a good New Year's Eve and have a terrible New Year's Day. You know them ones. But yeah, big up Ian. Big up to everyone who isn't an Arsenal fan in terms of New Year's Day. Have a great one. Have a great one. What's the next one? Big up to OG Harmone. Big up to you, saying Maresca don't rate Nkunku at the 10. So he'd rather play him up top because there he can get away with doing fuck all. Bro has no creativity. I don't even think it's a case of him not rating Nkunku at the 10. I think you just don't rate Mark Hiu at the 9. I think that's what the bigger thing is, bro. Because if he rated Hiu as the 9, he'd play him as the 9 instead of the guy that you said a couple weeks ago is not a striker. Gotta remember that. Man said he's not a striker and then proceeded to bring him on for Jackson up front against Fulham and then started him up front yesterday. So the bigger thing is he just doesn't rate Mark Hiu in that position. João Felix was always going to start. Palmer was always going to take the 10 positions with Enzo. So here we are. Here we are. That's what it is. That's what it is. So, yeah, big up to you, man. Disasi was moving like 22, 23 Koulibaly. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Name I ain't heard in a while, and that's a name I don't really want to hear still. Not to the Club World Cup, at least. Not to a Club World Cup, at least. Shout out Nana, my guy. Yo, big up, man. Happy New Year. I hope you didn't travel up to Ipswich still. Might have been good to tick off the ground and everything, but not for the game. Not for the game, because fuck all of that. He proper experience. I get it. I still would have liked to have seen him at least come off the bench against Fulham. I maintain that. The amount of long balls we were playing in that game, what was the point of bringing Nkunku on? What was the damn point? You might as well throw Hiu on. And if he isn't good enough, no one's blaming you. No one's blaming you. Brother's 19. Fine. I'm glad we got to that conclusion. But at least we did it. I keep referencing Broja. Last season, we gave Broja some starts over Jackson. Broja wasn't good enough. Fine. We know he's not good enough. Like, for all the criticism that we had of Poch, I never criticized him for giving Broja minutes. The only time I got annoyed with that was when he started him against Everton, because it's like, you have just come off that horrific game at Old Trafford and you've dropped our 2 highest goal scorers. The fuck? The fuck? But at the very least, we got to see a little bit of Broja. And then we could say, yeah, brother's not good enough, fine. Give Hiu a chance. If Hiu ain't good enough, cool, we know. We've seen it in the Premier League. We've come to that conclusion, fine. I ain't ripping Maresca for that. Just like to see it. Like to see it. Pequeno, that is like the closest you're going to get to Poch Prop from me. And I still found a way to cuss him out with that as well. Because the nerve of you to drop our 2 highest goal scorers when we needed a win in that game, you're a prick. You're a prick. But at least we got to see Broja get some sub games off the bench. Like, fucking hell. And I know he was garbage, but we got to know he was garbage. Like, ultimately, but this is a thing as well. Like, he's not experienced. I get it. Here's some experience. Take some experience. Here's 20 minutes here. Here's 10 minutes there. Here's a little bit of experience for you. Use it. And we'll figure out where you're at. My guy's had 23 minutes. 23 minutes. He is literally coming off a hat trick in the Conference League. No minutes since then. Just, that could be something to build off. That could really be something to build off. But here we are. Shout out Big Tips in the chat, man. Big up to you, man. That's a crazy name, but big up still. Trust me, Ant-Man. Bro, I am a generational Poch hater. Come on, bro. Man said, is Anselmino taking the Sassy spot? No, he's probably going Strasbourg. Probably going Strasbourg. Like I think Scott said he's got 900 minutes of football. 900 minutes of football. Like, no. Like, talk about lack of experience. Talk about lack of experience. And if Fofana ain't really there, like, I don't see any other leaders there for him to follow with. So, nah. Maybe you see him get some minutes against Morecambe, because fuck it, it's Morecambe. I think they're still bottom of League 2. But other than that, and even then, I think ain't he still recovering from a hamstring injury? Ain't he still recovering from a hamstring knock? There ain't gonna be nothing. There's some Lavia hate a few weeks ago. We score more with Enzo in the team. We don't need Lavia. Is that true? That is crazy. That is crazy. Who did say that, by the way? I need to know who said that. Because I remember hearing the phrase, but I don't remember who said that. Judo Gnome, big up to you, saying, the way I see it, Maresca is letting the board know the defense depth is not good enough, and the reason why we need a right centre-back that's quick. Bro, I don't believe in that. I'll be straight. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that for a single second, because you had 3 options. You had 3 options. And one of that was Achimpong that you spoke to and showed a pathway to before you re-signed. So, like, if we're talking like the right centre-back depth, you have just brought Reece James onto the bench for the first time in a minute. Gusto's there. Achimpong's there. You're not throwing games away just to prove a point. You're not doing that. Because the team's not at a level where you can afford to try and expose one area of the pitch and still be able to get away with results. You can't do that. Like, I get where the sentiment is coming from, because Mourinho had a habit of doing that sometimes. There was a game against Manchester United when he first came back in the 13-14 season. He played Schürrle up top and he had Torres on the bench. And his message to the board was, I am not winning anything with Torres up top. You get me a striker, or I am playing wingers up top to accommodate for Torres, because he ain't good enough. So, the difference between that is we still had a quality team. You've got a brazy back line, a brilliant midfield, Petr Cech at the back, Eden Hazard. So many options, all areas of the pitch. You can afford to expose the striker. And yeah, I get where that's coming from. But that's why I disagree. Because the nature of that squad was completely different to where it's at now. Now, you try to expose an area of the squad, you're throwing the game away. Because the team's not at that level. Not at that level. So I don't think he was trying to, like, expose it. I just think he made a terrible decision. He just made a terrible decision. He's got to be held accountable for that. And that's it. Big up, Judo Gnome, but I'm glad you brought that up anyway, because I've seen a few people bring up that sentiment, and it's good to have an opportunity to bring that down, because I don't believe it. I don't believe it for a second. But big up to you, Judo Gnome, my G. The Bun Rory talks football because he's talking absolute nonsense with that Poch quote. And then he was like, oh, that's rude when I said he's an idiot. No, you're being a disingenuous prick about it. Get the fuck out of it. And do not Poch prop like you think Poch is a good manager. Have him take your fucking club then if you think he's decent. What's someone added me in? United have shown serious interest in... Yeah, get in the fucking bin, bruv. Fuck off, United. Fuck off, United, man. If they take Maldini, I'm going to lose my head. That should be us, bruv. We need that experience at the back. That should be fucking us. Big up to OG Harmone. Saying, I agree with you, just making assumptions. I need to check your last super chat. Oh, about not rating Nkunku at the 10. Okay. I agree with you, just making assumptions. But it seems like you'd rather trust Nkunku's experience and finishing, maybe. But big up and happy New Year's. I hear it. Like, I do think he genuinely trusts the experience more of Nkunku. It's just, what's the point of, like, just being experienced? Yeah, Fielder, they're looking at Christensen. I will scrap the entire football club. I will go to Old Trafford and just start punching the air, bro. Don't piss me off. Don't piss me off. But, sorry, I've completely lost my train of thought. I get the idea of trusting the experience, but, like, What's the point of the experience when a brother looks lost up top? You look like a literal ghost for long periods. And again, you have told us that you don't trust him in that role. You don't see him as a good option in that role, but you're using him. It ain't adding up. It is not adding up. Obsidian, I hear as well, like, he could have done with some better service. Felix was selfish at times. Maybe we have a bit of a different perspective if he gets the right passes. But ultimately, the manager has also said, I don't see him as a 9. Yet he is being used as the 9. So, yeah. But big up and Happy New Year's to you as well. Happy New Year to you as well. I don't get it. Why don't we play Nkunku at the 10 and Palmer at right wing? See, I'm at the point now where, like, if you were going to just do Noni and Disasi at the right, fuck it, you might as well just play Palmer at right wing. You might as well. But even then, like, Palmer at the right pocket wasn't a problem. That wasn't the problem. It was when he got moved to the left pocket where he started to fade away from the game again. First half, he was brilliant. Oh, Keezer, of course that brother's live again. We've lost daily streams until Chelsea go on a winning run. It is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, like, I'd like to see Nkunku maybe get some minutes at the 10. Maybe, but even then, I haven't seen enough of Nkunku to scream start him. Right now, him just being depth is perfect. It's perfect. It's Christian Mohammed, brother. About is he better than he is so clear. He is so Tosin looks up to Christensen. He literally said that when he joined. He said he's one of the players that he models his game on. You might need to lock into a few more of them comps still. It is what it is. But then again, as much as I love AC, he's probably getting bitched out by Delap as well. Let me not even front. One or two of those body checks, it might be a long day. What did the man say to even check in my mentions anyway? Unless it's the Christensen thing. I've been trying to avoid Twitter a little bit. Like, everything's pissing me off. I've seen some idiot dropping a Havertz Dortmund comp talking about, oh, hear me out. Hear me out. Here's what I think of your hear me out. There's my hear me out for you. I'm doing the Pedro Neto, bruv. Shut up about hear me out. And all just a stupid potch prop. Get in the bin. Oh, you were trying to rattle me. Oh, you know what? Mission accomplished, bro. Because my head is still on Pluto after yesterday. It is very easy to get a rise out of me right now. Another reason why I'm trying not to be on Twitter too tough today. Another reason why. I'm talking about how we can put Nkunku, Palmer, Jackson, Sancho, and Enzo in attack. I hear you. And also, the creativity would be fucking nuts. You could have Nkunku working in the second striker role, have Enzo and Palmer and Sancho be the creative outlets for the pair of them. I hear it, Galib. I hear it. It's actually a really good idea. Man. Any news about Big Wes coming back? Not really. Just end of January. There's not been any changes. The good thing, I guess, about this run is that we appreciate Fofana a bit more. And this is my thing. Like, in spite of all of the injuries that he's had and the length of time that he's spent out, he's played for 4 months. And this is already the impact when he's out of the squad. Fair play. Because when you fully get yourself back up to speed, when you fully get yourself back up to the trajectory that you were on before all of these horrific injuries, boy, there's going to be a quality centre back there. Like, Fofana is going to be a big difference for us when he comes back. And in the long term, it's going to be a really good asset for us too. It's just about the competition that we give for him. Tosin, jury's out. I ain't writing him off. I ain't writing him off just yet. But the performances, I need a bit more of a consistent bar to deal with. Colwill, quality technically. Strength, I need him to improve on. Defensive awareness, I'm going to need him to improve on a little bit with that. Now, he's 21 years of age. He's barely played 50 games for the football club. You have time. You have time. I'm not going to say sell him or none of that crap. There is a trajectory that he is still on as well. Fine. I can accommodate for that. But right-hand side, let's go get someone a little bit more solid for him. I can't even say too much with Badiashile in because he's been out injured for the last couple weeks as well. So, but we already know our left centre-back options are locked in. It's Badiashile and Colwill. It's about who is working with Fofana on the right-hand side. That is the real question. That's the one that we actually have to figure out a little bit more ourselves. Big up to Maldini in the chat. Yeah, the CBBS was, I guess, a bit of an autocorrect. But yeah, I get the sentiment, man. I get the sentiment, man. Yo, Christensen and Fofana as our right centre-back options. Inject that shit into my fucking veins. Inject that shit into my damn veins right now. I need that. They're calling him Light-Skin Maguire. Oh, brother. They must be talking about Colwill. There's no way they're talking about Fofana for that. Light-Skin Maguire is rude. That's crazy still. M says, when are people going to tell the truth about Colwill? What is the truth, bro? Let us know. Let us know, my guy. I think I've got like about another 10, 15 minutes, I think. Let me just double check. What's this Sam sent me? He sent me the same night. Look at this. Look at this prick, bruv. Look at this actual prick. State of this guy. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you. Let me message him something. Voice note. Prick. Oh, hold that, man. Just copy and pasting Rory talks bollocks, bruv. What is this? What is this? Where is M, man? What's the truth? I want to know the truth. Like, yeah, like, Colwill still's got areas of his game that he needs to improve on, but what are we missing? What are we missing? Ernie as well, man. Shout out to Jorgensen. He had a good game. The amount of people I saw saying, oh, but Sanchez didn't start today and you still lost. Don't even dare try and tell me Jorgensen played poorly. Here is the difference between Jorgensen and Sanchez. Jorgensen didn't piss me off at any point during the game. There you are. There you are. There you are. Don't even bother. Don't even bother. But Sanchez didn't play today, guys. Did Jorgensen cost me a goal? No. No. We can all universally agree that the pen wasn't a pen. We just ignored that because we should have never got to that position in the first place. So, you man can fuck off with the Sanchez shit. You can fuck off with that one. But yeah, big up Ernie. Sorry, that wasn't even directed at you. I just had to let that one off my chest. Had to let that one go still. Colwill's mid and has no competition. I'd say more his position's locked in, if anything. Like, Badiashile is the competition. He's just, again, injured. But I think his position's locked in. We know when Fofana's fit, the starting back two is Fofana and Colwill. And that is it. Because we want Colwill to keep getting more minutes and to keep developing. Now, in terms of where his level's at, there is still a lot of ways for him to go. There's still a lot more ups that he needs to take. But yeah, I think like a lot of us can agree on that. If that's the truth and everything, like we all know that. Perfectly reflects this Chelsea side. Young, experienced, but Fez. Man, of course CB said that, man. You're taking the piss. CB, man. Shout out to him still. Colwill and James at centre-back. James right centre-back. No, because I wasn't Colwill like playing his best football for us in the centre-back role. And then you'd have Fofana playing right centre-back. So then what do you do with James? Is it James back at left centre-back? Would that be the case? Because then you end up dropping Cucurella, who's been very good for us. Not too sure. Not too sure. Jesters, I'll be real. There's a lot of people I was talking about with the whole Sanchez stuff. So, in general, if the boot fits, put it on, bruv. And if it don't fit you, it don't fit you. It's okay. But if the boot fits, wear that. The amount of people atting me about Robert Sanchez like he would have changed a damn thing about that game. Like he would have saved anything else in that game. I'm going to get in the bin. Cole is fine. He was playing great alongside Fofana before Wes got hurt. Now he's playing next to Disasi or a mistake-prone Badiashile. I hear it. Again, like, he's just on an upward trajectory, still with some areas of his game that he needs to improve on. Defensive awareness, like reading the defensive line and all of that. Strength. He needs to get a little bit stronger too. But there is still good areas in his game as well. Little bit of both. I get it. And also, like, he was playing more center half, I think, when he was first with us. And that was working pretty well. Now I think he's more adjusting to playing left centre back again. James at centre back. Oh no, he's just saying just at centre back. Emmanuel, big up to you saying, Lewis, if I ever see disaster right back, I will slap Enzo. I completely understand that. Completely get it. Bro, Obsidian, I completely agree. But none of them could say shit to me on A-listers about Palmer. Everyone was waiting for me to slander him. No, when he has a bad game, I will tell people he had a bad game. He was not bad. He wasn't bad. Second half faded like everybody else did. And then it just turned into just your standard narrative of, oh, when the team's losing, I'm looking to the main man to step up for us. And Palmer didn't do it. Sharp man. When he has a bad game, he had a bad game. He did not have a bad game. Go away. It's so fucking easy to try and run that narrative. The difference is I actually lock into the football. So you can't run that shit with me. I can't run that. He's been trying to run this ever since when was it? Has it been Arsenal or maybe a little bit further than that? It's been like the last month. Brentford. I'll say Brentford. Man tried to act like he was shit against Brentford and he wasn't. So again, not hearing it. Bro, Mo, I don't even have the energy to actually put context into it. I really don't. Because I genuinely look at anybody who tries to... Oh, wait, here's what M said. He's not ready for Chelsea and won't be ready if there's no better defender than him in the club. So you're saying he needs someone better to look up to? Maybe I could hear that. Not ready for Chelsea, like, again, upward trajectory. Maybe I could get having someone a bit more experience over him. Like, I don't think you're completely lying. Fair enough, man. Cowell's not good in the air, lacks pace, poor positionally, and is weak. I don't think he's terrible in the air, to be honest. Just can't really argue if he's amazing at that or not. Lacks pace, need a little bit slow. And the other three, yeah, fair enough. Don't think anybody's really lying with that one, so fairs. But yeah, back to this one. If I hear somebody try and drop the 19 games versus 19 games thing, first and last, I realize what I'm dealing with. So I just ignore it. I just go straight to cussing them out. Because you're either trolling or your ball knowledge is so far down the gutter, I'm not bothering. Because why? Why should I bother? Why should I fucking bother? What is the point? You want to run this disingenuous garbage? You're an idiot. And you know what my mum taught me? Don't argue with stupid. They drag you down to their level and win with experience. I'm inexperienced at that. Goodbye. Get out of here. Yeah, GJ, I won't lie. Chelsea threw me in the fucking gutter with that one. I really just thought we were going to go to Ipswich and do our thing. And then we go and we do that. You set me up like that, Chelsea. Like, come on, bruv. Really? You know how bad it is? I managed to ratio myself on that tweet. How do I ratio myself responding to that crap? The fuck? But hey, whatever. I gotta hold that. Is what it is. I said they ran to the corner to defend the 1-0 lead and we go and lose 2-0. Fairs. Fair enough. You know, sometimes you just gotta shrug your shoulders and just say it is what it is. It is what it is, man. I don't know if it's true or not. Mundo Deportivo are the ones that have reported 3.2 million followers. Fuck it. Oh, I need to drop a tweet on that. Ineos, we will fight. We will fight. You disgrace. Stay the fuck away, man. Stay the fuck away, man. Fucking joke. But yeah, I don't know whether it's true or not. I can't really tell you that. Chelsea consider recalling... Who's reported this? Who's reported this? Chalobah. Let's type in Chalobah. No one's reported this. I think he's talking BS. Yeah, I think this is BS. There's been no links. No links whatsoever. Okay, cool. Yeah, BS. I was gonna say, like, huh? And even then, consider is like one of those think piece crap BS anyway. Big up to Joseph Ronan, my G, saying, Happy New Year, bro. Have a pint on me. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. I'm going to need some today. Chelsea back to winning in the new year. We need Lavia and Fofana back. And we need Reece to stay fit too, please. I beg. That chat with Guni was like, it really just emphasized to me how much losing Lavia has impacted us throughout this winter period. Impacted our play off the right-hand side and impacted the durability that we've had in midfield. It has fucked us. It has really fucked us. And we have to look at getting some midfield reinforcements in January. Maybe it shouldn't be a quiet January as we expected. Maybe it shouldn't. Because we are going to need to reinforce in the midfield. If we can get a striker that's a different profile to Jackson, go do it. The rest, like, whatever, leave it. Unless you can bring back an experienced centre-back, so someone that can lead the rest of these players. Somebody, anybody. There is a lot of options. There is a lot of options. But yeah. Could do that. Can you check Jimmy's every time we drop points? Jimmy's done a smoke along. Now you see that everyone's getting thrown under the bus now. First it's me for playing Give Us a Win, and now it's Jimmy just for doing the watch alongs. It's crazy. Yeah. Me and Saeed will tag team against Ineos. Let's go. Mud Brothers versus Ineos. If you dare to try and take the Danish Maldini, bruv, we will scrap. Pricks. Absolute pricks. The last game we won with... how the tables have fucking turned. A month ago, it was Lewis stop going to the fucking football. Now it's Lewis go back to the football. Yeah, you don't fucking like it now, do you guys? You don't like it now, do you guys? Now's everyone's asking for me to come back to the bridge, blood. Now what? Yeah, hold that, bruv. Sorry, guys, I don't have a Palace ticket. I won't front. I don't have a Palace ticket. But if we don't win against Palace, you know what? I might have to take myself to the next league game. I might have to... When is the next league game? Bournemouth on the 14th. Okay. Yeah. Might have to be that one. If we don't beat Palace, I might have to turn up to Bournemouth, just get this shit streak over and done with. Yeah, it's crazy. Look how the tables have turned. It's all mad. It's all mad. Yeah, I won't say worried about Palace, more worried about ourselves. Because, like, if we're on job, we'll still beat them. It's just now I'm not worried. I'm not so sure about that. Form ain't on our side. Form ain't on our side. Momentum ain't on our side. So, yeah. It's a bit of a sticky one still. Yeah, Elijah, we're still running the hate watch. Come on. No. Not even trying to toot my own horn. I'm too recognizable to be standing in no home end. I'm good. I am fucking good. Trent Bomber, huh? Being Trent Bomber. Real Madrid insists to sign Trent as fucking Fabrizio as top target for 2025, as revealed in March. He's the player they want. Not for sale in January. Keep working on free agent deal for July. Man said Fab tweeted on it. Crazy. He gone. He is definitely gone. Oh, Paul Joyce. The Joyce Bomber. You know how much that means for Liverpool fans? They were all shaking their bum holes about Zubimendi just based off this, brother. Liverpool emphatically rebuff approach from Real Madrid to sign Trent in January. Folks, yeah, okay, I'm not even surprised by that. But it must be a bit legit if it's coming from him. I rate that they even tried it. But they were never going to accept. Man, are top of the table, and you think these lot are going to sell him. But I respect that they tried it, because you could still tempt him with the whole, hey, do you want some money for him? We could take him off you for free, mate. You know what? Here's 15 million and a free 5. Here, we can give you this still. No. Just got told to fuck off. And I understand that. Liverpool would rather lose him for free and have a league title. And if they were to get rid of him, like, Liverpool fans might start the riots. Because, like, that could derail the title. That could. Because Conor Bradley, like, he's good and everything. Is he solid enough at right back? I don't think so. And these men are already dying on the left-hand side of Andy Robertson, well, the corpse of Andy Robertson. You throw Conor Bradley on the right-hand side, suddenly they're a little bit thin in the fullback position. So, yeah. I don't see that. I don't see that one. Trust me, that would be cracked. The good thing is it means they're not taking Reece from us. That's the good thing. I like that. And also, our homegrown right back is not leaving on a free. He's not leaving on a free. Certain man wouldn't understand that. It's crazy. They can hold that, though. Big up to Pacharo saying, why would they change Judgment Day's theme song? It's because, like, they're not really a gothic group anymore. That's why. I didn't get it at the start, but I get it now. Because, like, Rhea Ripley's gone. Damian Priest's gone. They're not really, like, gothic like that anymore. So you might as well just change the vibe of it. Like, they're also moving to Netflix, and they're changing the vibe of a lot of groups now. DIY just turned teal. New Day have gone from being positive to negative. Now Judgment Day they've changed their whole thing about them. They've just changed the whole group. So honestly, I'd roll with it. Pacharo. But big up to you, man. Big up to you. Always like the wrestling super chats. I won't front. It's a nice little diversion away from the football talk and all of that. So big up to you, Pacharo, my guy. Fidel Chilwell tax, Poch tax. This brother played a high line with Silva, Disassi, and Badia Shield at the back. And the corpse of Chilwell. So, yeah. And also, fuck Poch. Also, Chilwell's a scrub. So, yeah, Bradley cooked us. Everyone was cooking us. We lost 4-2 to Wolves like 3 days after that, brother. James, if he's fit, he's cool. But Sam said will be Maresca out by March. Oh, please. Timestamp. Have you got a timestamp, AC? I beg. I beg. Let me know if you got a timestamp, bro. Because I'll play that now just to keep it. Just so I know where it is and I can come back to it. Pachara, of course I'm excited for Raw. Come on, bro. Football terrace. For fuck's sake. They better have a fucking timestamp on that. Oh, no, it's live straight facts. Yeah, forget it. Forget it. No point. I'll go find that in my own time. I'm going to keep that locked in the chamber. I'm going to keep that one locked in the damn chamber. Big up to Ash. Big up, my G. Oh, he said Don would be Maresca out by March. Okay, cool. Cool. Big up to Ash, though, saying Palace and Bournemouth will be really tricky fixtures. Can see the entire fan base going into meltdown if we drop more points. Yeah, me too. Also, can't really blame it. Like, if we don't win those games, you're looking at 5 league games without a victory. Fine. I get it. I get it. So, yeah. Oh, wait. Let me see if I can find that. 34. Oh, fucking hell. Fuck. I ain't gonna find that. But yeah. If we don't win that one, you are looking at 5 games without a victory. I am not shocked. I am not shocked at all. That is reasons to start like getting really fucking annoyed. Like I said before the Ipswich game, win and silence the flip-flops and get us back to winning ways and get us back on track so we can all stop overreacting over 2 games. Now we're looking at 3. Now you look at Palace and Bournemouth, that's going to be 5. I can't say that. I can't say that after this. I can't say that. Look at the contradiction, by the way. Stop being stupid. Chelsea are only winning because we're outscoring our opponents. Now Chelsea is not scoring, so this is the result, and Maresca out at the end of the season. Man said stop being stupid and then said Maresca will be out by the end of the season. Where is the shame? Where is the damn shame? Non-existent. Non-existent. Like, genuinely non-existent. But we move. We move. It's all mad. It's all mad. Fucking crazy, man. Well, we'll see what the next couple games have for us. I won't lie. I've got to jump off by this point. That's why I didn't send the link out. But, oh, one more super chat. Big up to Astoria is Blue saying, Mikey, every club wins by outscoring the opponent. Yeah. Fucking facts. Fucking facts, man. Bro, it literally is that. It literally is that. I can't lie. I'm still trying to find this timestamp quickly. It's just because everything keeps moving. 22, maybe? Would it be 22? I'm trying to figure it out. Nah, it's all United talk. I'm going to find in my own time. There's no point. Now, it would be 34-25 from when you checked it. And that would have been a couple minutes ago. So it would have now gone to like 36 or 37. I'm just going to wait for Terry to drop the timestamp. There is no point. There is no point. Exactly. Like, You look at situations like playing Disasi at right back and it just killing our right-hand side play defensively and offensively. Like, it's more than just, oh, we were outscoring teams and all of that nonsense. Like, yeah, it's garbage. It's utter garbage. Bun all that, though. Who's live that we like? Who's live that we like? Rants. Rants is live. Okay, cool. So I'll send everybody over there. Rants is live with Don. So at least there'll be more Chelsea conversations for all of you guys. Keep a lookout for that. We'll be back tomorrow to hate watch on Arsenal. Start the new year with a bang. So you man already know what to do over there. And yeah, we'll send everyone over to Rants. Everybody head over to Rants, man. Big up to everyone that's locked in. Hit the like button, subscribe, all of that. Bun Pochettino. I feel like I need to say that again. And yeah, big up everybody. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to each one of you guys that have been celebrating. Enjoy, and we'll see you tomorrow in 2025. Up the Chelsea. Up the Chelsea.